Okay, so I've decided the only way this is going to work or get done is if I detach myself from aiming for perfection, which means there's going to be no edits, which means there is no script. And basically, this is just going to be me talking in between sessions. Um, so I had to outweigh my fears, and the thought of just continuing to sit on this kind of scared me, not scared me, but was more uncomfortable or more uneasy than just jumping in. So here I am, and we're just going to see how it goes. I wanted to come up with a whole list of rules because I'm just weird like that, but basically, be respectful, please, in the comments. The purpose of this is to lift each other up, right? So it's okay if someone is in the comments and they're commenting or replying to something you don't agree with. That is okay. I just want us to practice taking a pause before we react, and that doesn't just pertain to the comments. That is a life thing, right? And that's basically what I do. Help to teach people while I'm learning myself how to create that space, create that pause to make the best decision. And it's going to be the best decision for you, right? As it pertains to your next move, which is going to be different from the next person's next move. So we're going to stay in our lane, focus on our own lane, question everything to yourself, not to me. I may not answer questions. Part of the delay too was, oh, that's my phone, sorry. Part of the delay was time, right? And so that's only getting in the way if I continue to allow it to get in the way. And yeah, I'm a little all over the place. Okay, so I'll figure out the structure as this goes along. But what I want to talk about today is basically the layers that have diluted your voice. Okay, so what I'm saying is the way you think, the way you operate, the way you see life, you didn't arrive thinking this way. You did not arrive thinking these things, the good, the bad, all of it. So you were kind of like a blank canvas, and then different, things shaped you. So for a lot of people, that starts with the people who raised you, okay, your primary caretakers. And even in the best situations, the best circumstances, that's your first kind of layer, right? And then you have institutions that shape you after that. So you've got your school, right? Primary education. I don't know if that's the right term, but basically grade school, right? And just all throughout your life, there's all these different voices that kind of dilute yours a little bit. And of course that needs to happen sometimes. I mean, when you were a kid, you weren't making a whole lot of sense and like using logic, because children don't have really the ability to engage in abstract thinking. So there's that. But really just kind of take a moment if you want to. Like, these are all suggestions. You don't have to do these things. And also, I'm not coming from a place of I've mastered all of this, so now let me tell you how to do it. No, this is like in the middle of my life stuff, and I'm trying to figure things out. I'm gonna hop on here. So that's what that is. So let's just kind of get that out of the way. But back to what I was saying. So there's different, institutions that kind of shape your voice and the way you view things, certain things that have happened to you, certain experiences that you've had. Now, when we get into trauma, which that's a heavy word, I understand, but I don't want to like get so caught up in that because I don't think everybody has a good understanding of what that word means, number one. And then number two, a lot of things don't. Some of the things I'm going to be talking about do not require like heavy hitter trauma, right? It's about experiences and how they shape you and how they like, determine the lens, the type of lens that you go into with the experiences to follow. So, I mean, I think that is pretty extensive. But right now, at this point, like if you are an adult watching this, you know, you might have several goals. You might just be scrolling, you know, you might just be passing time, whatever the point is, right? So, but I think it is my belief, which is not, doesn't mean it's the truth, but it's my belief that you have to kind of protect your voice at all cost, right? So that means kind of sometimes you have to turn down the volume on the other noise, right? On those other voices. I'm not talking about hallucinations. That's another chapter. That's another video. I'm talking about influences, right? I'm talking about the thing that makes you worry about what other people will think, what other people will say. You know, even we can even get down to why it took me so long to do this video, right? And then all of a sudden I just decided I'm not going to wait, you know, for the right time. I'm not going to wait for the right lighting. I'm not going to wait until I schedule my next hair appointment. I'm not going to wait for my skin to clear up. We'll just do it now, okay? And I'm not going to, oh, another thing, let's just get into what all stopped me. Another thing is, like, I don't want to get fully dressed and, you know, present a certain way every time I make a video. All right, sometimes I'll be dressed up a little bit, and sometimes I will be chilling. Okay, it really depends on what day I'm filming. Eventually I'm gonna try to do that, like, pretty consistently, like on the same days, like filming content. But until I figure out what that is, like, I'm just gonna wing it and see what works best. So some days in my actual life, I have to dress completely, and some days I'm just like rocking athleisure, and that's just what it's gonna be. So another observation too that would be cool to see is if I change depending on the set. Also, I might be in a different place. I might be in here, I might be outside, I might be, so we'll see. Okay, we're all doing this together, we're all in this together. So what do we want to talk about today? I don't know. Let's just end the video here, and then we'll just see what happens.